Hello and welcome to the Record Club, brought to you by Record Store Day, the official charts and National Album Day, and proudly in association with Bowers and Wilkins. Thank you for joining us. My name is Jess Iszatt, and we are very excited to say that our guest this evening is Tom Grennan to talk all about his brand new album, Evering Road. If you're new to the Record Club, we're going to be spending the next half an hour talking to Tom about the brilliant new record, and then we're going to be putting your questions forward for Tom to answer. So, if there is anything you would like to know about the new record, whether it be a certain song, about the artwork, or a particular lyric that you've enjoyed, drop us a question in the comments section below, and I'll be asking a selection of them in the second half of our chat. On top of that, one lucky person who sends in a question today will be randomly selected to win a pair of Bowers and Wilkins PX7 over-ear noise-cancelling headphones. I love mine, so obviously this is not to be missed out on. If you haven't already picked up your own copy of the album, Evering Road, I've got mine here, literally just arrived in the post. We thoroughly recommend that you do that once our chat with Tom is over. So let's get straight into this week's Record Club and say a big hello to Tom Grennan. How are we
Hey,
doing?
how you doing? You good?
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while.
It
I love
has
the
been a while.
cardigan.
Thank you. I love yours too. How have you been?
Yeah, it's you know what? Obviously there's been some mad ups and downs, but
Hmm.
this summer I can feel it. I can
I
feel
know
it
there's
coming.
yeah there's a green light that's and a light that's been shone. So I think there's it's gonna be a good summer. And like now we've been told that we can go on tour and put shows on in September. I feel like people are gonna move with a purpose and people are ready for it. People are ready to embrace people again, and it's gonna be good.
I'm wondering if, obviously we've all been used to being in our own sort of little fish bowls. That's what I like to call my room. When we see loads of people, it's going to either be like really exciting or just like, oh my God, 2 meters.
Yeah, no. Do you know what? For me, I think I'm just gonna hug everybody and just like I say, embrace people. I think everybody just. I feel like there's a lot of love in the air and ready, and people are just ready to just hug and just love each other.
Yeah, I can't wait to hug my mates,
I
honestly.
know.
That
I
is,
can't wait to
it's
go
going to
see
be the
my
best.
grandma, and granddad, and hug them as well. Honestly, I ain't like I ain't like touched my grandma and granddad for like a year. It's crazy.
I know, no, it's weird, isn't it? Especially over Christmas, but yeah. Anyway,
Any,
so I thought we'd start with a few questions about records because obviously the Record Club celebrates albums and vinyl and the physical copies. I want to know who you know that has the best record collection.
The best record collection, probably my manager, John Dawkins. Um, like I know that he buys a record every week, from new to old. So like his record collection is hefty and it's full of knowledge, full of great artists, and full of little gems as well. So yeah, I've rummaged through a few times and there's been some beauties in there for sure.
Have you like borrowed some of his?
I have, yeah, I have.
And of course, over the last year, I feel like music's really carried me through. Do you have any recommendations for us to listen to?
For me, like I've been listening to a lot of like, to be honest, I've been listening to a lot of Matt Miller. Like, if nobody, if you haven't like really dove into Matt Miller's music, then do, for sure. Uh, I've listened to the new Celeste album, which is amazing. Um, yeah, so I've just been listening to like a lot of like old like records. Like I've listened to like the documentary by The Game a lot. I've listened to like the Eminem a lot. I've listened to 50. I've like revisited a lot of like old hip hop, like Biggie, Tupac. After watching Biggie's new documentary on Netflix, it just was like, oh, I haven't listened to Biggie in so long. I'm gonna listen to him, and like he's been in my ears and on the speakers for like 2 3 weeks now.
I've literally got that on my Netflix watch next list.
Yeah,
Haven't
so
seen it
good.
yet, so no spoilers. But I love when a documentary, like a music documentary, reignites that love for an artist. It's so great.
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing.
So each week on the Record Club, we also have a question from one of the amazing independent record stores in the UK. This week's question is from Crash Records in Leeds. They've said, Tom, how excited are you to finally be able to play your album live for your loyal fans, especially when playing small shows in your hometown of Bedford?
Yes, I'm so excited. I think we've all missed shows, and to be honest with you, like I can't wait to just be back in venues, especially small venues. Small venues have struggled, and like live shows where like the income comes from, and how like new bands, new artists are like that's what they need is the small venues like Esquires in Bedford. So to be going home to Bedford um, is going to be very very special. And I've got a friend of mine called Adam. He's in a band called the Scruff, and he's supporting me. So we're gonna like I'm keeping it hometown like in there, and I just can't wait to see this. I want to make Bedford proud, and like this album is so special to me, and I just hope like people in Bedford love it as much as I do, and I not just Bedford, everybody. Do you know what I mean? I really do hope people love it as much as I do.
Honestly, that's going to be a massive show. But what is the capacity at Esquires? Do you know?
I think it's like 300. Um, so
That
it's
is going
like
to
a
be
nice,
mad.
yeah, it's a nice intimate, but still has like for me, like I remember when I first played Esquires, and it was I made it. Do you know what I mean? So going back to that, it will just bring back all these memories, and like I love that venue. It's amazing.
Well, shout out everyone from Crash Records in Leeds, and thank you
Yes,
very
shout
much
out
for
all
your
the
question. Okay, so diving into the album now, I have to
yeah,
say, honestly, so congratulations on an album that's just full of bangers. Like
thank you.
every single song, I'm just like it gets stuck in my head. Even the slow jams, like
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know, and
yeah,
hurts. Like I've just got like the jealousy. I'm not going to sing your song to
yeah,
you,
yeah.
but
I love
like
that.
honestly, just going around in my head and like even when it just comes on like on my Spotify or something, I'm just like singing along to it and I'm just like with my headphones on. It's massive. Every single song.
Yeah, I feel like I really like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this album, and I didn't want to put anything that wasn't massive on really, and I really did really think about everything and the lyrics, the music, everything like was sleepless nights of just work and everything went into this album. Do you know what I mean? Everything.
So, did you always know what you wanted this album to be? Because thematically, obviously, there's a lot of storytelling in it.
Yeah.
But sonically, like we just mentioned, you've got some like really big sounds in there. Were you kind of writing these songs already and then pulled it together in production, or
Yeah.
was it already all there for you and you were just putting it together?
Yeah. So I kind of wrote the songs, just the like backbones of the songs, and like just kind of me and a piano really. And when I knew that I had all the lyrics and the melodies down, and I was happy, I had an idea of what I wanted them to sound like. But then when obviously I went into the studio with like Dan Gretsch, who produced most of the record, and like Mark Ralph and people like that, I knew I knew what I wanted, but I knew that they also could see a vision as well, and I trusted in their vision and trusted in what they thought the song should sound like. So I had my like vision, but they also had theirs, and we brought that together and pulled that in, and I feel like we understood each other. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, here's a song, now send it off to a producer, and I'll wait for the song. It was like I was in the room like morning to night and really like knuckling down on how I wanted it to sound and how like we could change things and or put this in or put that in, and do you know what I mean? So yeah, it was a team effort though for sure.
and your team, how did you come to work with these producers? Did you know them before? Did you work with them on the first album?
Yeah, so I've I knew Dan Gretsch. He mixed and mastered and my first record, and he actually came out of producer retirement for me. So he was like, on this second album, I want to produce it, and I was like, all right, cool, like you're the man. And so he came out of retirement, and we were like, right, let's get in. And he's just amazing. Dan is like a really good friend of mine. Dan's actually from Bedford too, which is crazy. Like he's older than me, but he grew up like four doors down, which is mad. Um, so we had that kind of connection there, and then like he's one of my best friends, and I love him to bits. So we had that like trust in each other already. And then Mark Ralph, like I worked on with him a little bit on the first record, but I just knew that he was I really just knew what I wanted, and like again, like I love Mark, and we trusted each other. And then Jimmy Hogarth, um, who did one of my favorite songs on the record, "Love Has Different Ways to Say Goodbye." Like I just knew that Jimmy had to produce that record. Like we wrote it together, and I just knew that Jimmy would be able to make make it feel as if you were watching a film. And like this is what I wanted the whole record to be. I wanted it to be a like we know that feeling when you sit down and you watch the first 10 minutes of the film. You're like, oh my days, this film is mad. I can't wait to just go through this film. I wanted the record to be like that. And with Love Has Different Ways to Say Goodbye, Jimmy Hogarth like completely smashed it, and knew exactly what I wanted.
And obviously, so you've mentioned obviously like the first 10 minutes, you want it to be like big and just you just want to get into the rest of it. And obviously you've got like your opener, If Only,
Yeah,
kind of I guess about regrets, and then you've got Something Better. They're all quite
yeah,
emotional topics, but yet
yeah,
with a positive energy
yeah,
to the way the tune sounds.
yeah.
Um, how did you always want that? Was that how it was on the piano, or did it change to become bigger, more positive sounds?
Yeah. First off, as well, just got to say this. I'm missing out one of the key men and the key people in the record too. Lost Boy, who like is an amazing producer, and again, like we've had this relationship where he was one of the ones who like found my sound. Really, he was like, this is what it needs to sound like, and then it all came together. So, yeah, like what you were just saying though. With If Only, for example, that song started with the keys, like what you hear in the actual song. So we knew what we wanted to sound like. Like we wanted it to be a thumping tune. We wanted it to, but with that kind of essence of gospel in it. We wanted it to kind of feel like you were going to church and actually feeling like, when like I don't know, when I listen to gospel music, for example, it hits you in the face. You're like, whoa. And that's what I wanted If Only to be.
Gets you
And
here as well, doesn't it? Like
that's what
it's
I'm
that
saying.
sort
Like,
of heart and soul.
yeah. And that's what I wanted the opening record, like the opening song on the record to do. Um, and straight away, I feel like as soon as you hear the keys and the and the like beat of the drums, it draws you in. You're like, okay, I'm in. I'm in the film. I'm here. I'm ready.
And you've mentioned obviously the gospel side of things. You've also got choir, you've got strings, you've got kind of all these huge elements, and like you said, the physicality of gospel is
Yeah,
making me really look forward to your live sets. Would you
yeah,
have strings and gospel and choir coming with you?
100%. Like I'm gonna with the live show. There's like I've got so much things that I want to happen. Like I want this live show to be like an immersive experience. I want people to be able to like fully like be around the choir and like go in, like walk in between them all, and like I want it. It's gonna be a mad show. Like trust me, it's gonna be. You're gonna be in the film. Like you are gonna be on the street. You're gonna be able to like see and feel the emotions of what I went through living on that road, and feeling love, feeling heartbreak, and feeling like redemption too.
So it's literally going to be like immersive theatre. Is that what you're
That's what
saying?
I want it. That's what I want it to be. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want it just to be like, oh, come to me standing on stage and then a crowd. Do you know what I mean? People have missed touching. People have missed like going and seeing like something that they can actually be immersed in. Do you know what I mean? If people have been immersed in their own house for too long, and I feel like, yeah, like there's a lot of emotions that people haven't felt for a while and stuff like that, and I want to be able to give that to people. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We have to figure it out and a way of like how to do it properly, but we're working on it now at the moment. So yeah.
Okay, I was going to say, I know your tour manager. She's got a work cut out for her then.
Yeah, she's amazing, and she knows exactly what I want, and she knows what she wants to, and it's gonna be a show that nobody ever has ever seen before. Trust.
And obviously, we've touched on Live Connection. I feel like your video for with the tune with Ella Henderson, oh my God, in the
Yeah,
pub, could you
yeah,
have made us any more jealous? Like,
yeah. I know it was a mad experience being back in a pub. Like obviously that's what should be the norm, and it's not the norm anymore. But
was it a real
we,
pub?
yeah, we were lucky enough to go to a real pub. Obviously, like Corona, like tested, and everybody was tested and whatnot, and there was still like distance between us all and stuff like that. But like we got to go in the pub. We felt like the landlords of the pub for the day. Um, it didn't smell like a
Which pub
pub
was
though.
it?
It was in like um,
Was it in London?
yeah, it was in like East London. I think it was like Pimlico or something. Is that East London? Don't know. But yeah, it was a wicked pub to be fair. But it didn't smell like a pub though. It all smelled like
Yeah.
disinfectant. You know what I mean?
So clean, so sterile these days. It's all
Yeah.
because of Corona. Yeah, I noticed Ash was in there as well. So was it just like all your
Yeah.
friends that you had in there?
Yeah. To be fair, it was only Ash that I knew, and then yeah, and then everybody else was like just extras and stuff. But to be fair, I wanted my other mates to be involved, but because of Corona, they just couldn't do it. So I was
That's
lucky
fair
to have
enough.
Ash.
How was it working with Ella as well?
She's amazing. I feel like I'm so proud to be on that record and honoured. But also I'm so proud of her because she's had that song for 5 years and she's known for so long how good that song is, but it's just never worked out. And yeah, finally it's out there, and I feel like she's got one of the best voices around, and she's such a talent and such a lovely girl, and we've become really really good friends out of it all. We were before, but now we like really are tight, and it's nice.
So I can see that lots of people are getting involved in the comments with the questions. Of course, I'm going to be asking them to Tom in the second half of our chat. So make sure to get your questions in the comments and I'll be asking a selection of them. Also, you can win some headphones if you get your question answered as well. So yeah, keep them
Anyway,
coming. Um,
get me a
so
pair of headphones.
yeah, we'll try and sort that out. So there were a couple of tunes which I was big fan of, and I will say, well, actually no, all of them obs, but I've put in like capitals something better. The falsetto in that literally took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Is that something that you because obviously you're like so known for this like soulful husky voice, like it's like your big thing, and then you got this falsetto in there, and I was like, whoa, he is challenging Mariah Carey with this whole range. What is going on? Is that something
Yeah,
that you've always had in your arsenal, or was it like, someone pushed you to go there?
yeah. Like this song, I was just talking about Lost Boy, and I wrote this song with Lost Boy and Tom Mann, and we wrote the song, and like the falsetto bit, I was meant to sing in full voice, and I just couldn't get there. Like it's so high, I couldn't get there. Um, so they were like, "Do we change it? Do we change it?" I was like, and I'm like, I was shy with my falsetto, like I was, and I still am a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But like, I was like, I could try it like this. I was on the mic. They were like in the other room, and I was on the mic, and I was like, I'm not going to get this full voice, but I can try it in my falsetto. And they were like, falsetto? We never heard that. And I was like, all right, here we go. I'll give it a go, but don't laugh. And then I gave it a go, and that came out. And they were like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is what it is. And
That was like my reaction. Like literally everyone listening to it, like, excuse me, did I just hear that?
yeah, but I knew I could sing with falsetto, but like I've definitely been working on it loads more. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that lockdown has helped your voice over the last year?
For sure. Like, um,
I can say that it's helped mine for sure.
definitely. Like, to be honest with you, I haven't used my voice loads in lockdown. I haven't been singing loads, just because like I haven't been able to really. But now, kind of doing like live gigs and stuff like that, like live stream gigs and stuff like that. I've sung again, and um, yeah, like my voice feels stronger, definitely. And like on this record, when like we were doing the record, my voice has just got a lot stronger anyway from like my first record, for example. Like I was still finding my voice there, and I was, to be honest with you, like I listened to that other record, and I'm like I'm still like saying things and phrasing things like differently to how I would now, and I've definitely found my voice now, and I feel like it still has capability of becoming stronger, to be honest. So we'll see.
It definitely feels like you had your obviously signature voice on the first album, but this feels like you had that base and now you've like leveled up in terms of storytelling and also in terms of, I guess, range as well. And yeah, building on all the different elements of like soul, gospel, strings, and you've just managed to like pull it all together with this bunch of bangers, which is wicked. Quick question before we jump into your guys' questions at home. Which is the favorite on the album? What is your personal favorite?
My personal, it changes. It really does change. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm listening to my records still. Like this week, I've just been like, just kind of taking it all in and listening to it again. Now it's out, and like my favorite song on there is "Love Has Different Ways to Say Goodbye," but then it goes into like "Sweeter Than." "Sweeter Than" is like, I don't know, it just hits me like I'm like, this is a banger. Like nobody can tell me this ain't a banger. Um, If Only, I love If Only. Always loved If Only. I don't know. I actually don't know.
You're meant
I
to
love
pick
like,
one.
yeah, I know. I don't know. I'm gonna go Sweeter Than for right now. But when I listened to
Okay.
it today, it was Sweeter Than.
Nice. Gemma Roberts from the Record Club's page says, how do you get in the zone when songwriting and how do you get inspired with the lyrics?
I think for me on this record, I got in the zone when I realized I had to be honest, and the only way of healing and the only way of like understanding what was going on mentally and what was going on in my life was to be honest. So that's what inspired me to write my lyrics and write my songs, because like before I started getting honest with myself and honest with the situation that I was in, I was just writing songs like that didn't make sense. And when I kind of said, nah, this is how I'm feeling, and like I need to hold my hands up and face up to what I've done, and the only way to become a better person is to do that. And that's what inspired me. That's what has allowed me to grow as a person, and that's where my inspiration came from, for sure.
And Jane Sawinski on Tom's page says, Tom, was it hurts about social media and the damage it can do?
Yeah. Do you know what? It wasn't about social media, but I'm going to give you the truth about what it was about. Um, I got a phone call one night, and it was a friend of mine, and a friend of mine was like, "There's this rumor going around about you, and I need to know, is it true?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like no way, this ain't true. Like you've seen me, you've been with me. How could I have gone to this place and how and all that kind of stuff?" And then I left the house. Like as soon as like I got that phone call and like my mate was like, "All right, then cool. I just need to know that this rumor's going about." I left the house. I went to the studio and I went with the producer and I was like, "Listen, there's this rumor going about me. I'm fuming. I'm like throwing stuff about the studio. I'm like, it's not true. If it was true, I'd admit to it. But it's not true. And you know what? It hurts. It really does hurt." And he was like, "Write a song right now. Write a song right now." And then I literally wrote the song in about 10 minutes. Like,
Does the person who called you know that they contributed to that energy?
yeah, and the person that spread the rumors knows about it as well. And like it all got sorted out, but like it was one of those ones where just don't spread a rumor if it's not true. Do you know what I mean? And like because it does hurt, and people like it can affect people in a big way, and it affected me in a big way. Do you know? So yeah, don't spread things about people if they're not true.
Just don't
Basically,
spread rumors,
just
full
don't
stop.
spread
There we go.
rumors, innit? You know what I mean?
Angela Davis on the Record Club says, if you're number one this week, how will you
Ah!
celebrate?
Oh, I don't know. To be honest with you, I'm gonna celebrate. I'm gonna try sort of big like Zoom thing out for everybody that's been involved with this record, like fans, like my family, everybody. I'll probably run around the house just crying and screaming. And to be honest, I'm just gonna go home to my mum, and just oh God, I could cry about it now, man. Like if this happens, I'm just gonna be like, I don't know, I could cry now, man. Honestly, like
We're
it has
speaking
to
it,
happen.
we're speaking it into existence now. That positive
It has to
energy is
happen.
going out there straight to the top. Come on,
Thank
every road.
Come on.
Scott Dixon on National Album Day says, if you could pick a festival and line up to kick off playing live again, what would it be?
I'd say let's get Glastonbury back out there, 100%. I would have Arctic Monkeys headlining for sure. And then I'd have like Elton John on the bill. I'd have uh, just the greats on the bill. Do you know what I mean? I'd have like I'll just have everybody. Do you know what I mean? Everybody that I love.
Would you get
Like,
Adele back?
get
Adele was
Adele,
on there 2016.
get Adele back. I'd get who's the geezer from the Bee Gees? I'd
Oh,
get him. Oh, do you know what I'm talking about though. I'd get
yeah.
like that, get that geezer on. I'd just get some just good music basically. But oh come on, we can't wait for festivals. Can't wait for gigs. Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Tom, we'll see you on a field soon, hopefully. Um, Michelle Young on Tom's page says, if the album was a bag of crisps, what crisps would it be?
Oh, big question. What a question.
That is a big
If the
question.
album was a bag of crisps, what would they be? For me, my favorite crisp is God, what's my favorite crisp? This is a hard one. For me, like I love a Monster Munch. Um, I love every sort of Monster Munch, but pickled onion
Pickled
or
onion.
roast beef, I love them too. So what I'm going to say is it's going to be a bag of Monster Munch because it's crunchy, it's got a lot of filling, and uh, and it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, wild. That is so true, isn't it? Yeah. Linda Armstrong, the Record Club, on the Record Club's page says, love how proud your dad was listening to Evering Road. Have you ever written a song for him or for other family members?
Yeah, I've got a song with him on it. It's called "This Is the Age." Go listen to it. I phone him in on. It's one of like the early songs, but yeah, I have got a lot of songs for my family. They haven't been released, but they will do one day.
Amazing. Well, Tom, thank you so much. Quickly before we go, I also want to know, obviously lockdown hasn't been ideal like over the past year, but what has been something perhaps that you've learnt over the last year?
What have I learned? I've learned to be patient. I've learned to trust in in your gut and trust in in myself. I've learned to kind of just relax and take things as they come, and just say, like, be patient with it, because good things come to those who wait, for sure. But also to be happy, to be living, to be happy to be able to smile, be happy to be like just connected in this way, and then soon enough we'll be connected again like normality. Um, but listen, everybody who's watching this, I love you loads. Let's please get this #1 album. If it happens, I will do anything for anybody, and you will be in my debt of life. And I promise you, I will make albums for the rest of my life for you, and just be connected. And I love you all. And come on, let's do it, please.
Order it, stream it, you know what to do. This Friday, we've got all our positive energy going out there. But Tom Grennan, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already got yourself a copy, like I said, make sure to order one from your local record shop. I'm also excited to announce that the winner of this week's Bowers and Wilkins Wireless Headphones Prize is, drumroll, Angela Davis on the Record Club's page. So make sure to slide into our DMs, the Record Club's DMs, and we'll get those headphones to you. Thanks everyone for sending in your questions. Our next guest will be announced on the Record Club's social media very soon, so make sure you're following us. Plus, all our previous episodes are available to watch back on our YouTube channel. I will see you next month. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Legend. Nice one. Thanks, people.